Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a drugstore back to school makeup look, and this is kind of more geared toward teenagers, I would say, because it is a little bit more makeup than junior high makeup kind of. So I did this whole look using drugstore stuff, and I really love the way that it came out. I think that it's really nice for every day. It's not too over the top extreme, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get into it. Okay guys, so I'm going to start off with a primer. So I chose this e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. It just looks like this. It's clear and it just has a pump on it. So it's really easy to use. I really recommend a primer when you're going to school because you're going to be sitting throughout the day and it's just going to take a toll on your makeup, especially if you're oily like me, because my makeup just slides off my face if I don't wear a primer. So I just picked this one because it's really cheap and also because it does actually work. And I really like the feeling that it does on your face, and I just really like the performance that it gives. So I would definitely recommend a primer and concentrate on the areas that you're oily or anything like that, and mine would be my T-zone. So I'm just going to put this all over my face. So once the primer's done, I'm going to take my favorite foundation, whichever one that may be. I'm going to use the Almay Truly Lasting Color 16 Hour Long Wear Skin Conditioning Makeup in the shade Naked. And I'm almost completely gone with this foundation. It just has a pump on it. I really love this because it doesn't break me out as much as other foundations do. Pretty much anything breaks me out. As you can see, I kind of have little red bumps all over my face, and they're not even like pimples, they're flat. So I just need to cover them really good, and I find this is almost the same coverage as Revlon Color Stay, and it's better for your skin. So I would like this one. And for my moisturizer, I'm going to use my Olay Complete All Day Moisturizer Sensitive Skin, and they both have SPF 15 in them, which is really good because even if it's the winter, the sun is still touching your face, so you always need to have SPF on. So I'm just going to take a little bit of each and put it on the back of my hand. And I'm going to mix them together to make my own tinted moisturizer, because sometimes foundation for school is just a little bit too much. Even though a lot of the time I do wear foundation to school, but I am going into my last year of high school, so I mean it's kind of appropriate, but it doesn't really matter. You can really do whatever. I just took a little bit of each, and I'm going to just mix them together. Took a little bit too much, but whatever. And yeah, it's just going to make a nice tinted moisturizer so that it doesn't completely like clog up your pores or anything like that. I have so much hair, it's just getting in the way. But yeah, so I'm just going to put this all over my face. Wow, I made a lot. And I'm just going to blend out my foundation with this Real Techniques buffing brush by Samantha Chapman. So it just looks like this. It's really good for foundation. So as you can see, this kind of just gave me a light coverage all over my face. So I'm just going to take the rest of what's on my hand and blend it onto my neck, because even if it is a tinted moisturizer, it can still leave a little bit of a line. So I'm just going to put this all over my face and neck. And just make sure to blend. Like really blend. Even if you don't have a lot of time in the morning, make sure you spend time blending. Even though a tinted moisturizer is much easier to blend than a real foundation, because it's just the moisturizer makes it a lot thinner. So just blend it down your neck. And always remember that the foundation just kind of evens out your skin tone. It isn't supposed to cover acne or pimples or anything like that. Like you can still see I still have a lot of like redness and stuff. I have some on my forehead. And I'm not trying to cover those up with foundation. I'm just trying to even out my skin tone. Alright, so going into trying to conceal my blemishes, I don't always really want to conceal everything because then it just looks a little bit too cakey. So for school, I'm just going to use this L'Oreal Paris True Match Super Blendable Crayon Concealer. And this is in the color Fair Light. And it just looks like this. It's just a crayon. And I always use my hands for this, even though I don't know if that's sanitary or not. I don't know. I cleaned my hands before I did this. But I like to just use my hands and rub my hands on it because I find that if you do that, it warms up the concealer, and the concealer is going to go on a lot smoother than just in this little stick. So, and you can tell like when you do that, it's just so creamy. So I'm just going to put this all over my acne. And always remember when you're putting on face concealer, like if you're trying to cover blemishes, to try and pat as much as possible because that's going to cover it up the most. And when you kind of rub it, then that means you're just kind of rubbing off your foundation that you already put on, and it's just not good. So I'm just going to put this all over my blemishes. So when I'm done that, I'm going to take a under eye concealer. So for my under eyes, I'm using this Revlon Color Stay Under Eye Concealer, SPF 15 in Soft. Oh, that's not the color. It's in Light. And it's just one of these twist-up ones. And it takes a while to twist. There we go. And then it just pours out. But yeah, so I don't really like, this one isn't my favorite, but you can go for it. And I'm just using this. It's quite a bit lighter, as you can see, than my actual skin tone. But when you're in a rush and going to school, oh my god, it's going to be, your under eye dark circles are going to be crazy. So I just like to use a lighter one because it kind of does a two-in-one job. It conceals, but it also brightens at the same time. So I just like that a lot. I always try not to tug and like pull as much as possible in my eye area, but sometimes I just do a little bit, even though I try not to. So yeah, I do have really bad under eye circles, and I just like noticed that recently. Like you can tell, they're quite bad. But yeah, so just do this with the other eye. So once you're done with your under eye concealer, you're going to need to set it with some powder. So I have this Revlon Nearly Naked powder in number 20 Light. And it just looks like this. You can tell I use this all the time. The packaging is like completely like ripped off. And it just looks like this. This powder is absolutely amazing for covering, like, just making everything look seamless and amazing. And I would recommend this powder because you can cake this on as much as you want. Like, honestly, you could, and you will never become a cake face with it because it's just so creamy and it doesn't give off a powdery appearance. So, I'm just going to take a e.l.f. Kabuki brush and pat this in my powder and kind of press it on my whole entire face. And this is just going to give a really nice look to your face. It's going to make it look all even, and all the acne that you have is going to look covered up. And as you can see, my cheek area, there's nothing really there anymore. You can't really see a lot of it. And yeah. And also don't forget to put the powder on your neck. And once I've done my powder, I'm going to go for a little tiny bit of blush. So this is my Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink Color Icon Blush. So it just looks like this. It's really, really pretty. I love the color of this blush. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's a light pink, perfect for school, but you have to be very, very careful. See, as you can tell, it's very pigmented. So I don't have any napkins. That sucks. So I like to, when I use blush, I always like to use any type of duo fiber brush and just tap it in there very lightly. Make sure to tap off the excess and start back here. I like to start back here when I use blush just because if I get too much, you can kind of more blend it out back there than if you can on the apples of your cheeks. So I just like to start it out there and then work my way out. And as you can see, it just gives a really nice glow to your cheeks. So next, I don't really ever wear bronzer, like ever, honestly. My hair is crazy, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to choose bronzer because I know there are some pale people out there. So for this, I'm just going to take another Real Techniques brush, and this is the contour brush. I'm not really even going to contour. Oh, and this is my NYC Smooth Skin Sunny Bronzer. So it just looks like that. It's just a really nice light brown bronzer. So I just swirl it in there, tap off the excess, make sure to do that. Kind of just contour a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Just so that it gives your cheeks a little tiny bit of definition. I don't like to make it too noticeable. So yeah. Then sometimes I'll take a big powder brush. So all these little like white handled brushes are from Costco like a long time ago. So I just like to swirl this in the bronzer, tap it off, and then just do the 3 motion. Okay, so once that's done, we need to move on to eyebrows. So eyebrows is absolutely very, very important. So my eyebrow powder that I use is actually in a Too Faced palette. I believe it's the Natural Eye palette. So I didn't want to use that because I wanted to use all Drugstore. But this is a quad from Avon in Mocha Latte. So it just looks like this. I'm just going to be taking the deepest shade right here and filling in my eyebrows very lightly. So I'm just going to take this dual-ended brush. It has spoolie on one end, which is really dirty and gross, and an angled brush. So you can really take any, if you have dark hair, you can really find any dark matte brown is going to work for your eyebrows. Like, it doesn't even need to be. I've never even used this, but we're going to try it out and see what it looks like. Always, always, always make sure to fill in your eyebrows because they just completely frame your face and it just makes the whole look a lot better. Even if you're hardly wearing any makeup, if I could probably wear one thing of makeup, it would honestly probably be fill in my eyebrows because look at the difference that that just made. This eyebrow is done and this eye isn't, and it's a huge difference. Like, I look much better with my eyebrows filled in. I would also always go for a powder eyeshadow for school just because it's less harsh and it's easier to like do than with a pencil. So I would just definitely recommend always doing your eyebrows with some powder. So I really like kind of bold, dark eyebrows, as you can tell, but that's just my preference. And now I'm going in with my Great Lash Clear Mascara by Maybelline. Just looks like this. I use this as a brow gel. It's really dirty, so I wouldn't even like look at it if I were for you. But you just run this over your eyebrows, and it keeps your eyebrows staying on all day. And I recommend this because you don't want to go to school with like nicely done eyebrows and then leave school with no eyebrows, because people will notice. So always put this on, and it really, really works. And yeah, I just absolutely love this, and I think it's really good. So now my favorite part, we're moving on to eyes. So for a base, I'm not going to use a primer for my eyes because I haven't found a drugstore one that's really good, and I did want to keep this all drugstore. So I'm using a color tattoo in Barely Beige. Just looks like this, kind of looks exactly like Bare Study. I use Bare Study a lot, but so I just kind of like go between the two of them because I think they're the exact same. So once I'm done that, I'm going to take this CoverGirl Quad in Country Woods. So picked this up a while ago, and I love all the shades in it. I think that they're really neutral, pretty shades. So I'm just going to take this shade right here, the lightest shade, not the lightest shade, most shimmery shade, and put it all over my lid. So I'm just going to take a eyeshadow brush and put this all over my lid. And now I'm going to take the lightest kind of white shade, cream color, and put that under my brow bone and in my inner corner. And I'm just going to take a small crease brush and take this last color right here and put this in my crease. And I'm just going to tap off the excess. I'm just going to do this very lightly. I'm not going to do a dark crease or anything like that. Just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of definition. So you can hardly tell that I even did something, but it is just a tiny bit of definition to make the eyes look a little bit more interesting and not just so shimmery. So once you're done that, I was thinking about what kind of eyeliner do I want to use. Do I want to use liquid or pencil? And I was debating about it for a really long time, but I thought that liquid eyeliner might be a little bit too harsh for everyday use, even though I wear it every single day to school. I don't really care. But I'm just going to take this Avon Luxury eyeliner in black. So it just looks like this, and I'm just going to put it like really, really close to my lash line, just above right here, and maybe a little tiny bit, just dab it, kind of just dab it like this along my lower lash line, just to make it look like I have a little bit more eyelashes down here. So I'm just going to kind of dab it. And then I'm just going to kind of smudge it out a little bit with my finger. And then, yeah, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit. I'm probably not going to be in frame for this, so I'll just skip over it. But I'm just going to run a little tiny bit. Really, really, aw. No. Aw. There. It'll rub off. It's okay. And I'm just going to put a little tiny bit really close to my lash line. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so once I put a tiny bit there, I just kind of took my finger and smudged it a little bit just to make it a little bit more smoky. And you don't even have to wear eyeliner with this. I just think that it makes it look a lot better. And now I'm just going to take my e.l.f. eyelash curler and curl my eyelashes. Now I'm going to take my CoverGirl Clump Crusher in the water resistant formula, and this is just in the very black, and put this on my eyelashes. So I just kind of put that on lightly just so that my eyelashes look a little bit more alive and awake. If you want, you can put a light colored eyeliner on the bottom. That will make your eyes look even bigger, but I don't have one right now, so I would if I had one, but I don't. So I'm just going to leave it like that, and we're on to the final step, which is lips. So I put on lip balm at the beginning, so my lips are nice and smooth. So I'm putting this Revlon Just Fit and Kissable Balm Stain in Honey. So it's just a really neutral colored stain. And I chose this stain because it's neutral, but it still gives a little bit of a darker tint to your lips. And it's a stain, so it's going to make your lips stain, be nice, and have kind of a sheen to them. But on top of it, I'm going to put this e.l.f. Hyper Gloss Shine Lip Gloss in Fairy, so it's just a really, really, really light pink. And I'm just going to put this on just so that my lip color isn't so dark. So yeah, just kind of give my lips a metallic kind of look to it. Okay guys, so that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe if you haven't already, and tell me in the comments below if you want any other back to school videos, because I really enjoyed doing this one, and I tried to do the most drugstore things that I could, and I succeeded with that, and I'm really happy about it. And I also really like the way that this came out. I really, really, really like the eyes. I think that came out really well. My acne's covered and everything's just good, and it doesn't look like I'm wearing an extreme amount of makeup. So I really love that. And yeah, I want you guys to tell me if you want any more back to school videos, like supply videos. I don't go back to school till September 5th, so they're gonna kind of be a little bit late. But yeah, and I also have some video that's planned if you guys want to see that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!